Ray believed he wasn't good enough for most of his life. He worked as a painter in a quiet city neighborhood, not the kind people talked about or remembered, just someone they called when walls needed color or old portraits needed fixing. He kept his head down, did his work, and left. What no one knew was that Ray's right hand trembled. Not enough to stop him from working, but enough to ruin perfection. Every straight line curved slightly, every detailed edge carried a small mistake, and he noticed it every time. When people praised his work, he smiled politely, but inside he felt like a fraud, convinced they hadn't looked closely enough. One afternoon, Ray received an unusual call from a woman who wanted him to restore an old painting hanging in a community center. The original painter had died decades ago, and the artwork was cracked, faded, and damaged by time. She told him she wanted it to look exactly as it once did, perfect. That word made Ray hesitate, but he needed the money, so he accepted the job. When he arrived and saw the painting, he froze. It was a portrait of a young boy with a soft, uneven smile, and a date from many years ago written in the corner. As Ray began restoring it, the pressure crushed him. His hands shook more than usual, every brushstroke felt wrong, and every correction felt like failure. After hours of work, he stepped back and saw a cleaner, brighter painting, yet something felt missing. That evening, the woman returned earlier than expected. And Ray was ready to apologize. She stared at the portrait in silence before quietly saying that he had changed the boy's smile. Ray immediately offered to fix it, but she stopped him and explained that the boy was her brother. He had never been perfect, she said, and his smile had always lifted higher on one side, which was exactly what made it his. Ray realized he had erased something real in his effort to make it flawless. The next day, Ray returned alone and repainted the smile, not straight and not even, but honest. When the woman came back, tears filled her eyes as she whispered that it finally looked like him. From that moment, something changed in Ray. He stopped hiding his work, stopped apologizing for small flaws, and stopped chasing straight lines that were never meant for him. Slowly, people began asking for Ray by name, not because his work was perfect, but because it felt real, because it carried emotion, memory, and truth, reminding everyone that nobody is perfect, and it is those imperfections that make us human and unforgettable.